Okay, that one is there. I'm going to set the other one because I want to have a few angles. Okay, cameras are going. And you can see. Karen, don't worry if I disappear because it'll come back. I'll finish it and come back to you. So with the back massage, when you're going to do what we call the layering technique, you just put your base oil with no essential oils in them on the body. So remember, if somebody has a lot of inflammation, olive oil is very good, and if they've extremely dry skin. But if they've oily skin, you're going to go for a lighter oil like sunflower or jojoba or fractionated coconut oil. So a nice layer on the skin. That's just to apply it. Now, if your customer comes in and they're complaining that they have, or if you notice that they have quite a lot of heaviness around the hips and fat deposits, you're going to then use your Smart and Sassy. So what you do is you're going to add 5 to 10 drops depending on how much you want to reduce, and that would be all around where you feel there's no fat deposits. Now my customer here doesn't have a lot of fat deposits on the hips, so but if they have, so depending on where they want to work on the fat deposits, you would then layer with your Slim and Sassy. So as you work along then, but if a customer had a problem then, would say for example, if it was a female customer, and they have a problem with very bad period pains, you would use your Claricam. Now it's a roller bottle, so you can't really use that from customer to customer because it's not hygienic. So you can take out your roller bottle, lift out the top off it, and then apply that. Equally, you could rub it on your own hand, but it's best to open it, drop it. So you could take a few drops out of the Claricam for your customer if she's suffering with bad period pains. So you'd work that around the back, and then when you do the tummy and abdomen massage, you work it onto the massage with the front. Now, next week we'll be doing the abdomen massage, so I'll show you how to use the Claricam there. But it does work its way in through the back as well. So you'd use Claricam around this hip area here, all the way around here where they lower back, it'll work. Now, if your customer is complaining with bad cramps and pains, maybe stomach pains, period pains, but or they're cramping, or aches and pains, you're going to use your Copaiba. So you could use, for each customer, up to 5 drops, 3 to 5 drops. So I'm going to use Copaiba up here on the spine, around this area. If your customer is complaining, they say, I have a really, really bad right shoulder, you put it on the shoulder. So you depend on, you decide where they want to work it. So this is what we call layering. We're actually layering the oils on the area. Aches and pains, so they go, I am just cover aches and pains all over. You're going to use your Aromatouch blend. 10 drops of that over the entire body if there are aches and pains all over. But if they say, I've got just pulled a muscle in my neck, you would just use it in the neck area. I know for a fact that Jim has a very bad shoulder, so I'm going to use that. Now, failing that, if you want to do something general, let's say pains, just they're in pain, you're going to use your Deep Blue. So you put your Deep Blue on. Failing that, so you have a Copaiba Deep Blue, the good combination of Copaiba and frankincense. So you will layer these for different things. Your customer might have 1 complaint, 2 complaints, 3 complaints. So you vary to suit your customer. Now, for example, if they come in and they're all out of sorts and they say, oh, you know the way somebody sounds as if they're a bit heart sick, nothing's going right, they feel just very, very down in themselves, you'll use your geranium. Geranium will make them feel much better. Geranium for that kind of feeling very low and feeling a bit what I would call heart sick. So geranium around the heart area here. So it'll penetrate into the body, but Geranium is a wonderful oil for uplifting, but for making people who are feeling very, very unhappy. Could mean they've lost somebody, they've had maybe an emotional upset, they've had a row with the boyfriend, they've lost somebody, and they've had a split up. Anything that got to do with that feeling of that heartache, you're going to use your geranium. Another one I like is, of course, over the back, I always introduce breathe, because we're going to increase the lungs. So as we work on the area here, the air is going to be very good for lungs. So these all will amalgamate together, but you can change them up and down the different areas. So air, so breathe. Also, you can take a drop of breathe on your hands before you start your customer. So before you start the massage, you put it on your hands, you rub your hands together like this, you take a deep breath yourself, because you will transmit the feeling of peace to your customer. It's a good way of grounding you and your customer together. So you take your breathe, and then you come around to the top of the couch like this, and you go and you put your hands in. You can't see me now, but you're underneath, and you ask your client to take 3 deep breaths in. 1, 2, and 3. So you make sure that you both are grounded, and that way you'll both get you'll have the combination between the two of you, and it'll make you peaceful, make them peaceful, and also it'll increase the lung capacity. So very important, especially at the moment. Okay, now we're going to go back to once we get our oils on, we're going to go back to our technique. So remember, we did effleurage, kneading, picking up, figure of 8. So we're going to start with our effleurage. Hands together like this. Thumbs not quite meeting, a little gap, but they're together. Up, right over the top of the shoulders, across, and down. Meet them in again. Up. I'm going right over the top of the shoulders when I come up this far. I'm moving the shoulders out, and then I'm down. All the way up. Out and down. So this is 6 effleurage we're going to do, but as we come up the top, we don't just come up here and go around. We come up all the way over the shoulders, stretch the muscle down and draw down. Up, draw out the muscles and down. So our next one then we're going to go is our kneading. So we want across the all the tissues of the muscles. So kneading, we're lifting the flesh between our fingers and thumb. So we're starting with the shoulder, and then we're coming down around the muscles here, and we're working down over the latissimus dorsi, trapezius up here, latissimus dorsi, down here around the hips. We always remember we're going to cross over, no pressure on the spine. Again, your own heat, when you're working, you're going to be hip distance apart for your own feet, so you keep yourself balanced. Cross kneading, so we're going to go around in a circle. We're going clockwise. So we're going down the sides, we're going across the centre. It's a big area to cover. So as I'm working, I'm lifting the muscles and squeezing them between my fingers and my thumb. That increases the circulation, because as we squeeze, the circulation comes into the muscle, out of the muscle, into the muscle, out of the muscle. So we're increasing circulation, which will increase nutrition to the area. So all the way around. So when we do our kneading, any muscle we can lift. lift it, pinch. Really, really good for the health of the muscle. And we come back around. Our next one we're going to do is picking up across the shoulders. So we're going to pick the flesh up and squeeze. We can do single-handed, just like this, or double-handed. And when you go each side of the neck, you lift, press, lift. My thumbs are rolling towards my fingers. I'm getting in around the neck. So I'm picking up and squeezing. You notice it's different picking up than we do on the legs, because the leg is a big flat area, and you can get each side, but you can't get each side of the back. So this is where you have to do it for the neck. So picking up around the shoulders, working into the neck. That's where people get this ache here. Works right into that trapezius muscle. Thumbs are pressing down. I'm lifting this muscle at the back with my fingers and pressing the thumbs. So what do we do next? We're going to do figure of 8 around shoulders and hips. So figure of 8, one hand over the other. We lift this way, circle, lift, pressure, circle, lift, relax. So we're going to, the pressure goes on and off in your figure of 8. When you're crossing over the spine, you don't want to have too much pressure, but when you're lifting, you want more pressure. And then gently over the spine, and then lifting. So you will notice you're putting the pressure on and off. So figure of 8. And then when we go down to here, we're going to come down and we're going to do the same over the hip area. We want the circulation to improve in the area. Because I put Slim and Sassy, or as they call it now, Smart and Sassy, on the area here, the heat of my hands and the increased circulation is moving it into the body. Let's see if we'll give them this now. Fingers are too slippy to move the mouse.
9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Hold on, I'm going to ask Stay for Free. We'll see if it adds on. Stay for Free. Okay, so figure of 8, thumb frictions around the shoulders. These are circle thumbs like this. I'll give you a sample of each one so that you have them. So, because we're going to run out of time. When you're going over here, you'll hear crunching. That's breaking down little toxins. Thumb circles. Thumb friction is satisfying. So get your thumbs. We're circling up the erector spinae muscle, the muscles on each side of the spine, all the way up to the neck. And you repeat that 3 times. I'm going to just do them quickly so we don't run out of time. But you will do them 3 times. Thumb frictions in lower back. Get your thumbs and circle your thumbs into the lower back, especially the small of the back area here. The 45 minutes in Zoom goes very fast, doesn't it? So thumb circles around the spine, around the lower back, and then we're going to vibrations. So one hand on top, and you move down the spine, and you just shake. So your top hand shakes the bottom hand. Take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, shake. It's just to cause a vibration. There are little handheld machines you can use for those. Wringing over the heavy areas. So we're going back to our wringing. So wringing, like wringing the water out of the towel. So I'm twisting the muscle. We want to get quite deep. Start off with your effleurage is light, but then you want to go quite deep. So wringing over the shoulders. You can go up here, out over the shoulder, move across over to the other shoulder, and then come back and down. So you're going to work all that area. You get right in. And when you're leaning over here, you go down the sides a little bit. So all the area there. So we've done our wringing over the area, hacking, cupping, and effleurage. So with the hacking, start at the top shoulder. And you're working over and back. And it's only the fingers are flicking. There is another massage technique where you use the side of your hand, but that is not included in this. It's more of an advanced technique. Cupping. This is very good for where there's any congestion in the lungs. Also increases circulation and helps break down fat deposits.
Oh.
And then we're going to do effleurage again. Up, cross, draw down the sides, and up, cross, and down. Now you can put your hand on the body, move to the top of the bed, and you can work down the body. It's a good stretch. So when you're working this, you put one foot in front of the other. You don't want to compress your client's head, so you can slightly go to the side so that you're not pushing on their head when you lean over. So when you're pushing down here, you can take the heels of your hands at the trapezius muscle and push down. So your effleurage can be from down, up, to up, down, and then you can stretch your hands up like this, and you're finished your back. And then you would move on to your the other part you'd move on to, but then you'd actually turn your customer for the rest. How many minutes do we have on this one left? How many
4
minutes?
minutes and 13 seconds.
4 minutes. Okay, I just want to quickly run through then so that we have it. So, effleurage, up, across, over, down. Next one, kneading all over. So kneading, full body massage produces a full work blood exchange. And it's like a workout for the therapist, especially if you're talking to it. Picking up across the shoulders. So picking up one shoulder, other shoulder, or the two hands together. What's the next one? After picking up?
Figure 8.
Figure of 8. In one hand over the other to get plenty of pressure over the shoulders, Now, they will call this in some massage techniques, they call that ironing. So if you imagine you're using an iron, that's always called ironing. So over the hips. So if you see where they say ironing across, that's what ironing is. One hand across the other. So it does look as if you're ironing the body. What's our next one? Next movement?
The next one is the
Say again?
tongue friction around the shoulders.
Tongue frictions around the shoulders. So tongue frictions around here. You can take one hand and go around with the thumbs around this scapula. Just to add in that now to give you a little bit more. So one thumb, you can circle the scapula. So your scapula is here. If you want to get a better look at the scapula, you can take the hand up like this. Put your hand in under the shoulder. Then drop the elbow, and you'll see the scapula more clearly. So when you lift up the shoulder there, you'll see it. So it's around there. So your thumb circles go around the scapula. Especially here, you'll find a lot of people have a lot of congestion. So with the other one, to get the one on the other side, you'll have to go around to the other side, not losing contact with your customer. Try and get the elbow belt, get a little bit of bend on the elbow, and then you get your thumb, so circles around the scapula. It really gets in on those gets into those flat muscles, and you can slightly get your thumb in underneath the scapula. That's a little bit of an extra kind of a technique for you today to add in to work on it. I know, what's my next one? After my knee, thumb.
The next one is the lower back.
Yep. So
the tongue friction either side of the spine.
Okay. So up the spine, little circles, but you don't press on the vertebrae. It's on the erectile spine muscles, and they run each side of the spine up here and here. So you're working on those. The rhomboids are here, so you're going over the rhomboids. So you can have a look in your anatomy and physiology to see the back muscles, so you know what you're working on. Okay, what's my next one? After thumbs are
The next one is tongue friction with lower back.
Lower back. So we're going to go thumb friction. You can do two thumbs separately, or you can do them together like this. So they alternate going together each side, or you can circle them separately. So there is a few variations you can add in. Now, vibrations down spine. Bringing over the heavy areas. We're going to do a hacking, cupping, and a reflage again then. So you're hacking, cupping, and then we're going to do our effleurage again. So up, over the shoulders, back down the sides, or alternatively you can come up to the top of the couch, not losing contact, and you stretch up, out over the shoulders, down, up, out over the shoulders, and down. Equally, you can come up the sides, meet in the middle, and press down. As long as you're working on the large band of muscles, and down. And you're finished. And then you'd ask your customer to turn over.